So coming to a comfortable seated position, and you may wish to have if you're on the floor, a cushion underneath you or a couple of cushions, whatever is going to make you feel more comfortable. And sitting up tall, feeling the support underneath the sit bones. I'm going to start to soften or close the eyes and draw awareness to the breath. Starting to slow and deepen the breath in and out through the nose. Allowing the shoulders to fall away from the ears. The back of the neck is long. Relaxing the knees out towards the side of the body. So we use the breath or attention to the breath at the beginning of the class to signify transitioning into our yoga practice. Drawing our attention inwards as we start to listen to the body. And today's class, which is called Gound and Replenish, it's about doing very little. Feeling the support of the ground to open the body and release tension. And so working from wherever you are today. There is no competition in yoga, there is just practice. As you breathe in, seeing if you can inflate the belly like a balloon, and then the chest to the collarbones. And as you breathe out, releasing the shoulders away from the ears, exhaling from collarbones, chest, and drawing the belly back towards the spine. So breathing in, inflating belly, chest, collarbones. Breathing out, collarbones, chest, and navel back towards the spine. In today's class, we're going to be sending some love towards our hips, where we hold a lot of tension. And we're going to start with a neck stretch. So we're going to interlace the fingers behind the back and place them on one hip. And then taking a deep breath in, reaching the head up towards the sky, we're going to drop the head on the out breath away from the arms. Breathing in, feeling length across the spine. As you breathe out, see if you can release the shoulders away from the ears. Release the neck. Breathing in, feeling space. Breathing out, releasing tension. Do one more breath here. Next in-breath, going to draw your head back up to center, and then we're going to drop it to the other side. So it's a slightly different neck stretch. Breathing in, feeling length in the spine. Breathing out, releasing the shoulders away from the ears. Feeling the rise and fall of the chest. Feeling the space being created by the breath. One more breath here. On the next in-breath, going to draw the head up to center, and we're going to swap our hands to the opposite hip. Take a deep breath in, lengthen the spine. As you breathe out, drop the head away from the arms. Breathing in, expanding the heart space. Breathing out, releasing the shoulder blades down the back. Using the breath to feel space and also consciously release tension in the focused area. One more breath here. On the next in-breath, I'm going to draw the head up to center, and then I'm going to drop it to the opposite side. Breathing in, feeling length. Breathing out, releasing the shoulders. And one more breath here. On the next in-breath, I'm going to draw the head up to center and release the hands. I'm going to start releasing some tension in the shoulders. So we're going to breathe in and draw the shoulders up towards the ears. And then we're going to sigh out through the mouth as we release them. Breathe in, rise up, and release. Let's do it again. Breathe in, rise up, and release. This time we're going to breathe in and rise the shoulders up, and then draw the shoulder blades together, and then on the out breath, drag the shoulder blades down the back. Breathe in, reach up, shoulder blades together, breathe out, drag. Breathe in, reach up, shoulder blades together, and drag. And now bringing the arms out to the sides of the body. I'm going to take a deep breath in, expand the heart space, reach the hands away. And as you breathe out, try and draw the shoulder blades together. Breathe in, reach away. And breathe out, shoulder blades. One more. Breathe in, reach away. And breathe out, shoulder blades. And I'm going to bend the arms so they're in a cactus position. Take a deep breath in, expand the heart space, draw the shoulder blades together. As we breathe out, we're going to give ourselves a hug. Nice big squeeze. Back to cactus. Breathe in, shoulder blades together, expand the heart space. And breathe out, give yourself a hug. Let's go again. Cactus. Breathe in, shoulder blades together, expand the heart space. And breathe out, hug. And bringing the hands to heart center and Jali Mudra prayer position. I'm going to breathe in and reach the arms up. And then I'm going to swan dive on the exhale and bring the hands back to heart center. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, swan dive. And back to heart center. One more, breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, swan dive. Now bringing the elbows in line with the shoulders. We're going to cross one elbow over the other. And now you may have the backs of the hands together, or you may be able to bring the palms of the hands together. It doesn't matter which. And as we breathe in, I'm going to lift the elbows up and then see if we can relax our forehead towards the tops of our arms. And it might not reach, it doesn't matter. We're giving the shoulders a stretch across the back. Breathe in, reaching the arms up and away. Breathing out, releasing the neck towards the top of the arms. Breathe in, feel space. And breathe out, releasing the neck, trying to release the shoulders away from the ears. One more. Breathe in, feel space, lift up. And breathe out, releasing the shoulders and the neck. I'm going to release the arms and give them a little shake. It's quite an intense shoulder stretch. I'm going to do it on the other side. So bringing the elbows out in front of the body. So putting the opposite arm over the top this time. Either the backs of the hands going to come together or perhaps the palms. And it probably will feel different on this side to the other side, and that's also fine. We are unbalanced. Take a deep breath in and lift the elbows up and away. As you breathe out, trying to release the head, release the shoulders away from the ears. Breathe in, reaching away. Breathing out, releasing shoulders and neck. And this is called eagle arms. Let's do it one more time. Breathe in, feeling space, reaching away. Breathing out, releasing the shoulders. I'm going to release the arms and give ourselves a little shake again. And now into the wrists and the hands. I'm going to start with some stars. So clenching the fist as tightly as you can and then releasing. Let's clench, clench, clench. And release. And again, clench, clench, clench. And release. And this time we're going to tuck the thumb under and then roll the fingers over the top of the thumb, and then imagine that you're riding a motorbike. So you're revving forward and feeling the stretch across the back of the ribs. I'm going to open the hands back up, and this time the little finger is going to come in, then the ring finger, middle finger, first finger, and the thumb is over the top. I'm going to imagine that we're pouring jugs away from us, so we're getting a stretch on the inside of the wrist. And release, and give the hands a little shake. And I'm going to do some jellyfish. Imagine very graceful, gentle movements through the water, feeling the brush of the air across the hands. And then to further sensitize and bring awareness to the very tips of our hands, we're going to really lightly tap with the thumb on each finger. And you may wish to close your eyes and see whether after tapping, do you continue to feel the sensation? And just doing a few rounds, slowing down if you can. And this is one of the things that we try and explore in yoga, is how we can remap our body by drawing awareness, sensitivity to the far corners of the body. I'm going to release the hands. So we're either going to come onto hands and knees, or I'm going to show you the other option of doing it on a chair. So if you're coming onto hands and knees, you're going to place a blanket, if you have one, underneath the knees. And you're going to come to all fours, so the hands are roughly underneath the shoulders, knees roughly underneath the hips. And you can either tuck the toes or have the feet flat. And you're going to start moving the spine by breathing in and lifting the chest up. And breathing out, tucking the chin towards the chest. And following your own rhythm of breathing in, moving forward, and breathing out, moving back. If you'd like to do it on the chair, you can put your hands on the back of the chair. So from standing, if that's okay, Liz, yeah. So you place the hands on the back of the chair, you can walk the feet a little way away, you take a bend in the knees, and you can press into the hands As you breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, tuck the chin towards the chest. And we're doing this to get some movement and warmth into the spine. Breathing in, moving forward. Breathing out, moving back, and adding in any other movements which might feel good. And we're going to meet in a neutral position. And because we're working on the hips today, we're going to lift one hip off the floor. Like if you're on the floor, you're going to be like a dog cocking its leg. And you're going to start giving the hips some circle movements in one direction and then the other. Liz, we can do the same. Opening up the hip, moving one way, and then changing direction. Keeping our connection with the breath. Let's place that knee or foot back on the floor and we're going to swap to the other side. Lifting up the knee, cocking it out to the side, and then circling the hip. Get some space into the hip. And then meeting back in a neutral position, so both knees on the floor. We're going to bring the big toes together and the knees apart as we then walk the hands forward to come into a downward puppy, where we release the neck and we feel the stretch going from our hands all the way down our back. If you're on the chair, you might walk the feet a little distance away and you release the chest down in between the hands. And wherever you are, see if you can release the neck. So perhaps doing some yeses and nos. And let's also try and release the jaw by licking the lips and rubbing the lips from side to side. From here, if you're on the floor, you're going to slide down onto your belly. With your chin or forehead on the floor and your hands either side of your shoulder. Liz, if you want to sit back on your chair, you can do this from seated. So bringing the hands into a cactus position. Yeah. So if you're on the floor and if you suffer from back issues, you're going to keep your forehead on the floor. And when you breathe in, you're going to bring your hands and shoulders off the floor. If you don't suffer with back problems, you're going to press into the hands and lift the chest to come into a mini back bend. Liz, you're going to take a deep breath in, expand the heart space, and lift the chest slightly towards the sky. Everyone, when you breathe out, you're going to come back to the floor or your neutral position. And we're going to do this 3 more times. So breathing in, lifting chest, hands and pressing into the hands and lifting the chest if you don't have back issues. And as you breathe out, coming back onto the floor. Breathing in, lifting chest. Breathing out, lowering the head towards the floor. Let's do it 1 more time. Breathing in, lifting chest. Breathing out, lowering. Placing the hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to push ourselves back up to a seated position. We are going to come into what's called 90-90. So if you're facing forward, both leg is in 90 degrees. If you're seated on a chair, you're going to work this by just opening one leg out to the side. So if we're in the 90-90 position, If you feel like the hip is really lifting up or that you feel really tilted to the side, welcome to use as many cushions that's going to make you feel that you're more equally grounded on the sit bones. And placing the hands down, breathing in, lifting the spine up. As you breathe out, releasing the shoulders and releasing the hips. We're just going to stay in this pose for a few more breaths. If you want to go deeper, you can always experiment with what it feels like to move the feet either further away or closer. See how that gets into the hip in different ways. But what we're most looking to get is to feel balanced and feel that we can release in this pose. So wherever you are, taking a few breaths here, breathing in, feeling length across the spine. Breathing out, releasing shoulders, trying to release tension in the hips. Breathing in, feeling space. Breathing out, releasing tension. Let's do it one more time. Breathing in, feeling space. Breathing out, releasing tension. I'm going to bring both knees bent out in front of us. And if you're seated on a chair, you can copy the same as this, grabbing the tops of the knees, taking a deep breath in and reaching the heart space up towards the sky. As we breathe out, releasing the shoulders away from the ears. Breathing in, feeling space. Expanding the heart space. Breathing out, releasing the shoulders. One more breath here. And we're going to drop the knees so we go into our 90-90 on the other side, or if you're seated, you're going to open the hip out to one side, opposite hip. And so just being aware that it probably will feel different to the other side, and that's okay. We usually are stiffer on one side than the other. Finding whatever feels like the most balanced version of this pose for you, adding in any equipment if needed. Breathing in, feeling length as we reach the spine up towards the sky. And then breathing out, releasing the shoulders, releasing tension in the hip. Breathing in, feeling space. Breathing out, releasing tension. One more breath here. Breathing in, reaching out. Breathing out, releasing shoulders, releasing the hips. I'm going to draw the knees back to a neutral position, this time with the feet together and the knees apart. Same as before, holding on to the knees, breathing in, reaching the heart space forward, lengthening the spine. Breathing out, releasing the shoulders. One more breath here. I'm going to release. I'm going to come back up to standing. Before we work into relaxation, we're going to work on a balancing pose. So you can hold a chair or the wall for support. And grounding down with one foot, So to do this, you can lift the toes and feel the connection with the four corners of the foot, and then option to place the toes back down. We're going to lift the opposite leg and start circling the hip. Now, if you start to feel a bit build up of tension in the grounded knee or ankle, just come out the pose, shake the leg off and come back into it. And circle one way and then the other. And then we're going to draw the knee being in line with the hip, and we're going to reach it across the body. Now that might be enough of a stretch for you and to stay there, or if you can hook the leg, the foot around the calf, that might be accessible to you. And then either staying here, pressing into the wall, or if you want to try the balance, the full balance, we take this hand off the wall and we bring the arms in, the elbows in line with the shoulders, and we cross the opposite arm to the bent leg over the top. So we come into eagle arms on the top. Breathing in, reaching the elbows up and away. Breathing out, releasing the shoulders. Breathing in, feeling space. Breathing out, releasing the shoulders. One more breath. Breathing in, reaching away. Breathing out, releasing the arms, releasing the legs, giving the standing leg a good shake off. And we're going to swap to the other side. So grounding down with the foot, perhaps lifting the toes to feel the connection with the ground before placing them back down. We lift the opposite leg and start circling the hip. Opening one way. And then we can change direction. Then we're going to draw the knee in line with the hip and then across the body. And this may be where you're working from today. Get a good stretch on the outside of the hip, or if you want to hook the leg around the back of the calf, option to bring the elbows out in front of the body, and it's the opposite arm to bent leg that comes over and crosses into our eagle arms. So this is called Gound Replenish, eagle pose. Breathing in, reaching the arms up towards the sky. Breathing out, releasing the shoulders. Keep pressing into the big toe for support and stability. Breathing in, feeling space. Breathing out, releasing tension. One more breath here. The next out breath, and release the pose. Give the standing leg, both legs a good shake out. And then we're going to make our way onto our backs with the option of having a blanket underneath the shoulders. Now the next set of poses, Liz, are about relaxing onto the ground. So you're most welcome to do that, but equally I can give you alternatives if you want to do it in the chair. It's completely up to you. Okay, great. So making your way down onto the floor. So the back is flat on the floor. If you've got a blanket, you might want to open it out. It's not quite wide enough. So it covers your shoulders and your back. And it's just giving a bit of comfort between you and the floor. So the knees are bent, the feet roughly underneath the knees, and the palms of the hands are facing up towards the sky. I'm going to try and flatten out the back so there's no gap between the back and the ground. So you might feel the pubic bone rolling up towards the navel. And pressing into the backs of the hands and into the feet and shoulders, feeling the connection with the ground. Taking a deep breath in and expanding the heart space. As you breathe out, releasing tension into the ground. On the next in-breath, I'd like you to imagine that you're going to lift your hips up to the sky, but not actually lift. So you might feel the pubic bone rolling up towards the navel. Breathing in, feeling space across the heart. Breathing out, pressing into the feet, hands, and shoulders. Now, if you're looking to restore energy, this is where you're going to work from today. Feeling the connection with the ground, the connection with our body. We don't need to wait there to feel this bridge pose. If you would like a deeper stretch in the back, on the next in-breath, you're going to lift the hips, but only about halfway of what you normally would, maybe less. So the point is not to see how deep you can go, but to hover the hips off the ground, to feel the quadriceps turn on. Keep pressing into hands, feet, and shoulders. Deep breath in, expand the heart space. And staying in this bridge pose, are you able to relax the glutes? So we're not tensing or clenching the buttocks. Breathing in, feeling space. Breathing out, releasing that tension into the ground. Breathing in, feeling space. Breathing out, releasing tension. On the next out breath, you're going to lower back onto the ground if you've been lifted vertebrae by vertebrae. So the tailbone is the last bone to reach the ground. And then flattening the back on the mat, we're going to lift each leg up towards the sky. And the knees can be slightly bent if the hamstrings are tight. It doesn't matter, we're not trying to do a big stretch, we are just trying to get the feeling of elevation. And having the feet elevated above the heart has lots of calming benefits. So pressing into the backs of the hands, feeling the support underneath the shoulders. Deep breath in and feeling the length as we're reaching the legs up towards the sky. Breathing in, feeling length. And breathing out, releasing tension. One more breath here. I'm going to float the feet back onto the mat with the knees bent. I'm going to take the feet wider than hip distance. And we're going to press the heel of the hand into the crease of the thigh, where the thigh meets the hip. And we're going to press the hands so we imagine that we're moving the flesh away from the top of the hip joint. And when we do that and we straighten the arms, you might notice a lengthening in the middle of the back. Breathing in, expanding the heart space. And breathing out, releasing tension. Breathing in, feeling space. Breathing out, releasing tension. Breathing in, feeling space. Breathing out, and I release the pose. Bringing the feet to hip distance apart again. I'm going to draw the right knee in towards the body. Then I'm going to open that right hip like a book and place that right ankle over the left thigh. Now we're going to bring the arms out to the sides of the body so the hands are level with the shoulders. You may be in the cactus position or the arms may be straight. Deep breath in, expand the heart space. And if you'd like to come into a twist, you're going to drop that right knee towards the ground. If you feel that it's too deep to go all the way to the ground, you can slip a cushion underneath the knee. What's most important is to anchor down the shoulder that's opposite to the direction of the knees. Because when we keep the shoulder blades on the ground, then the twist is coming from the lower part of the back. The head is neutral. Breathing in, feeling space, expanding the heart space. And on the out breath, perhaps letting go of the hips, letting them melt or sink a little closer towards the ground. Let's do one more breath here. On the next in-breath, you're going to draw the knees back up to center. And then we're going to thread our hands through and catch the back of the left thigh. Breathing in, feeling space across the heart space. Breathing out, perhaps drawing the thigh a little closer towards the body. Again, it's no competition. It's just whatever feels like it's giving you the nicest, juiciest stretch in this position. Breathing in, expanding the heart space. Breathing out, perhaps drawing the thigh a little closer towards the body. As you breathe in, can you feel the spine elongating from the lowest part, the coccyx, all the way up to the neck and out the crown of the head? Breathing in, feeling space. Breathing out, releasing the hip, perhaps a little closer towards the body. And do one more breath here. As you breathe out, I'm going to float that left foot back onto the mat. Draw the right knee in towards the chest as we then place the right foot back on the mat. And we're going to swap to the other side. So the left knee comes in towards the chest. We open a hip like a book. We place the left ankle over the right thigh. And then the arms can either be in cactus position or straight, stretched out with the hands level with the shoulders. Breathe in, expand the heart space. And breathe out, we're going to drop the left knee towards the ground and stopping wherever feels comfortable for you. If you don't want to go all the way to the floor, you can always put some cushions underneath the knee. And just lowering slowly towards the ground. There is no rush. Breathing in, expanding the heart space. Breathing out, releasing and lowering towards the ground. And this side will most probably feel different to the other side. You may need equipment on this side and not on the other. Wherever you come to, taking a deep breath in, feeling space across the chest, anchoring down the right shoulder blade. So the twist is occurring in the lowest part of the back. Keeping the neck neutral. Breathing in, feeling space. Breathing out, perhaps releasing the hips a little closer towards the ground. Just a couple more breaths here. Seeing with each in-breath, are you able to feel space being created in the body? And on the out-breath, releasing any muscles which feel like they're holding on. On the next in-breath, we're going to draw the knees back up to center. I'm going to reach the hands through and grab the back of the right thigh. Breathing in, expanding the heart space and flattening the back onto the ground. As we breathe out, perhaps drawing the thigh closer towards the body. So the left hip opens like a book. Breathing in, feeling space. Breathing out, releasing tension. Just do a couple more breaths and just working to wherever feels right for your body today. Breathing in, expanding the heart space. Breathing out, releasing shoulders, perhaps drawing the thigh a little closer. One more breath here. And then I'm going to release the thigh, bring the right foot back onto the mat, the left knee in towards the chest, as we then place the foot back onto the ground. Now, we're going to come into another hip opening pose. If you'd like support, you can place cushions either side of the mat. So we'll bring the palms of the feet together and we're going to allow the knees to fall out towards the sides. If this feels too intense, too deep a hip opener, just move the feet further away from the body. So we're making a kind of diamond shape. This is called Baddha Konasana, or Supta Baddha Konasana, because we're lying down. And so I'd like you to use whatever equipment can enable you to really let go in this pose. Placing the hands the sides of the body with the palms facing up towards the sky. Breathing in, expanding the heart space, and also feel the opening in the hips. As you breathe out, trying to release any tension, release the knees, release the thighs, release the shoulders. And although we are opening the body, we are passively stretching. We're not trying to actively work. And keep focusing on the breath. Breathing in, feeling space. Breathing out, releasing the limbs into the ground. Breathing in and feeling space. Breathing out, releasing tension. Just a couple more breaths here. Are you able to relax the body any more? From here, we're going to make our way into our final relaxation position, where we lengthen out each leg. And you may wish to place a blanket over you or grab an extra jumper if you're cold, so you feel warm and comfortable for this final relaxation. If you would like to place a cushion under the head, so the palms are facing up towards the sky, the feet are falling away from one another, the shoulder blades are drawn down the back, and the back of the neck is long. Just making any other movement right now that might make you feel more comfortable. Taking a deep breath in, expand the heart space. As you breathe out, releasing the limbs into the ground. Breathe in, expand the heart space. Breathe out, release the limbs. One more time. Breathe in, expand the heart space. And release the limbs. Today we've been drawing our awareness to the hips. I'd like you to imagine there is a point of white light glowing in the pelvic area. A warm white glow. And that point of white light is moving to the right hip. That point of white light is traveling down the right thigh to the right knee, right ankle, right foot. That point of white light is in the right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and little toe. That point of white light is in the right ankle, right knee, right hip. That point of white light is in the left hip. That point of white light is traveling down the left thigh to the left knee, left ankle, left foot. That point of white light is in the big toe of the left foot, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe. That point of white light is back in the left ankle, left knee, left hip. That point of white light is back in the pelvis. And now the belly button. That point of white light has travelled up to the heart space and throat. Point of white light in the right shoulder, right elbow, right wrist, right palm. Point of white light is in the thumb of the right hand, first finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger. That point of white light is in the right palm, right wrist, right elbow, right shoulder. That point of white light is in the throat, left shoulder. That point of white light is travelling down the left arm to the left elbow, left wrist, left arm. Point of white light in the thumb of the left hand, in the first finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger. Point of white light in the left palm, left wrist, left elbow, left shoulder. Point of white light in the throat space, travelling up the throat, across the face to the third eye, in between the eyebrows. The point of white light is at the crown of the head. Now imagining all of those points of white light glowing at the same time, like a constellation of stars in the body. A warm glow. Enjoying the stillness now of this pose. And start to bring awareness back into the body. Draw sensation into the fingers and toes, perhaps giving them a little wriggle. Option to reach the arms above the head and take a full body stretch. And then whenever you feel ready, bending the knees, rolling over onto one side, and pausing for a minute, moment, two. Before drawing yourself up to a comfortable seated position with the hands at heart center. I'm going to end the practice with a collective breath. Taking a deep breath in, expanding the heart space. As you breathe out, releasing the shoulders away from the ears. Thank you for taking the time to share this practice with me today. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. Lots of love wherever you are. Namaste.